Hello and greetings to you. I'm Daniel Popa. What a weather. Still winter. A little bit deceiving. We had nice warm days, and us as a beekeepers, we are tempted, especially not having the experience. We're tempted to intervene, open the hives, do our own thing inside. And the fear is that by a lack of understanding, we can work against our bees, I should say. Not that we would be able to destroy the colony, but we certainly could give them some problems. What am I talking about? I think it's maybe 2.5 weeks or even 3 weeks. I have switched few of these 2 double brood boxes, put the one on the bottom on the top and reverse the top to the bottom. Now, in overwhelming majority, you will find that the top box would have honey stores and some brood inside, and mostly the bottom box would be just empty. The comb will be cleaned and possible ready for the bees to the queen bee to lay eggs and develop inside. Now I have done that switch on this row and just maybe just one here. Have I done the right thing at that stage in the year? I cannot be 100% sure. Maybe it was a bit too early for me to have done that. Maybe I was okay. What I want to point out is that the danger is to cause chill brood. Chill brood is when by our intervention we switch either frames or boxes, and by doing so we position the brood frames or the brood box in a less favored position where heat escapes quickly and bees struggle to keep the brood warm. The brood in the stages of being kept and developing through the metamorphosis needs about 35 degrees to develop properly, and when you have this sort of temperature in the night, like 0 degree or -1, then that is a problem, and bees may or may not be able to maintain that if we interfere and switch things around and move things around, put foundation frame in the middle of the brood, and then we'll split that nest in half, forcing half of the nurse bees to warm up this half of the nurse bee to, and that is a problem. Now I have seen this morning, because it was unusually cold than yesterday, on a couple of hives, a larvae in this stage, a pupa in this stage, and I would be almost comfortable to say this is a drone larva. It does not appear to be sick at all, looks to be a clean color. But what could be the reason is they might get rid of the drones at this stage. If they have raised them, they cannot possibly warm them up properly. You have seen that most of the drone comb is laid at the bottom corners of the frames. So in my case, if I have switched, of course, that yellow one, which I see one of that larva on the landing board, I have not switched because it has just a mainly on top. But this is what could happen, that being on the bottom, they're most exposed to the cold, and bees know, no, they're not gonna make it. They open up the cell and they drag the larva out and clean it up. Well, not a tragedy, but I want to point out how important it is to know when to intervene, to know what to do with the bees. We're afraid that they're going to swarm on us, and we're trying to put many boxes on top and this and that could be problematic. Another thing I have showed you some time ago, I have attempted to put like a weighing scale, and that was just absolutely difficult. I have tried to make that jack it up and weigh it every day, and that did not really work. I just didn't want to do that and disturb the bees like that. And what I've done, I just put it on this hive and I have set it up like that. And basically, for the weighing scale to work, I had to constantly leave it on. If I switch it off, it will not register the weight of the hive, and then when I put it on again, I have to basically lift the hive and then put it on the scale to measure it. In this way, having it on, I can constantly measure what is happening inside. And very interesting, if you see here my notes, on the 3rd of August, it measured 43.5, and then just we are on the 6th of August, 3 days after, it's 41.6, if you can see on the display there. So they are consuming, you can see the first night they have consumed nearly 1 kilo of honey during the night, overnight. And they have to do that because they would have brood and they would be working hard, and in the night it's very cold, so they have to warm up the brood. So this is another thing we need to be watching. This time of the year it's critical. We have to make sure they have enough stores and not bother too much with them. Just leave them, they know best what to do. But in the same time, we have to be prepared, having boxes and frames, and intervene as soon as the weather will permit it. Very interesting. For me, this is interesting. Having a hive on a scale, it allows me to constantly see what is going on inside without even opening the lid. And I know, kind of, look, I'm 41.6 now from 43.5. And that is food consumed, resources consumed, partially because they're starting more to have brood to feed, and another is they go and work, so they need to be fed. Very, very interesting. I would be thinking that little bit of a nectar, if you see on my notes, something is coming in during the day, and then during the night it's consumed and even more. So they would prefer the nectar, which is fresh, over the stores of honey which they have stored in the comb. And that's just common sense. Very, very interesting. Beekeeping is not a simple thing. It's a very very deep sector. A friend of mine, actually it's a bit more if I say a friend of mine, but someone I have followed, a very known beekeeper in Romania, and he's a maths and physics teacher, one of the best in Romania, and one of the best beekeepers as well. He said maths and physics have never given me problems that hard to solve like beekeeping. And I am only in my 3rd year, and I do agree with that statement. Well, I'm gonna close it up, and I say until next time, God bless you.